story was sent to me by a listener named Jay, who has sent me stories in the past, so I want to give a shout out to Jay. Thank you so much. And those of you out there who want to send me stories, you can also do so. funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can you can call me. You can't really call with stories because you need to send me the link, but you can send me the link through a DM, like at funnyjones on Twitter or Instagram, or on facebook.com/comedianjonesy. So this is stories from geek.com. Man on the curtain service projects shadow men for single apartment dwellers. Now, it's a very confusing title. When I read it, I was like, what the hell is going on here? But when I got into it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, hilarious, and great. Okay, so the article begins by saying about how living alone can be scary, especially if you're a single woman in a big city, yada yada. It can make you a prime candidate in the eyes of criminals. For men and women alike, it could be dangerous to live alone if the right ne'er-do-well decides to come preying upon you. That's why a new product called Man on the Curtain system in Japan is hoping to prevent anything from happening to you if you do live alone. It's a strange new projector that works through your smartphone to project an image of a man on your curtain so that other people looking at your apartment from outside think that you have a man in your home. Now, there's a video of it as well, and on this article, and it's exactly what you think. It's a shadow of a man that you on your window, which I think is so funny. First of all, the man needs to be more buff, okay? It's kind of a thinner, regular-looking man. It looks like it might be a business person. You need some jacked. It needs to be like NFL player. I want to look, I want people to look up there and be like, oh, yo, there's an NFL player living there. Definitely not going in there. Definitely not going to try and break in and rape that individual. No, gonna leave that apartment alone. I don't know if I don't know if burglars, do they even call them burglars anymore? I don't know if burglars even look at the shadows of the place before they make their judgment. I think a lot of them are crazy and they're on drugs and they just break in anyway, so I don't even know how effective this is going to be, but I love the idea. It's really funny. To me, it's hilarious. So there's an apartment management company is behind this idea, which and in the video below they sort of put it out there. And what happens is, so a projector creates a silhouette onto your curtains, which makes it seem as though there's a man doing various activities inside. So it's not just the actual, a still silhouette, obviously, because that would be weird. Like, why is this man just standing there all night? No, the man is moving around and doing things. I hope flexing. I hope just like, flexing muscles. And maybe like waving a sword. Loading a gun. It should be stuff like that. Okay, so there's 12 different options, including, oh, this is great, including a boxer, a martial artist, a bodybuilder, a sports fan, a man vacuuming. That's funny, a man vacuuming at 3 in the morning as you watch the apartment that you're trying to break in. I'm waiting for the moment for him to stop vacuuming. Man, he's been vacuuming since 9 p.m. It's now 3 a.m. Wow, this is a vacuum marathon. So also a man doing laundry, and even a man doing yoga. There's got to be a way to toggle through these activities, though, because you can't have a man doing, yoga for 7 hours all night long. Really? There are plenty of different activities to choose from in the event you need help making it seem like you don't live alone. Oh, this is so sad that there's so many people living alone, and they're afraid. They're in their house and they're afraid. What a crazy world we live in, that you can't even be comfortable in your own damn home. You need to put the projector of Hulk Hogan doing push-ups onto your goddamn curtains so that someone won't come in and strangle you to death. What a great world we live in. This is why Alexa's going to kill us all. This is why. Because we don't deserve to live. Because humanity is crazy. It's crazy, and you can't even live alone without fear. And you need to project The Rock onto your curtains. You need to project The Rock folding your clothes. Oh man. Well, hey, if this is what's needed, this is what's needed. But I got some suggestions on what we could have the man doing, because you only have a few different choices, and some of them are weird. I'm going to say, what about a guy playing video games? Okay, that's something that men do for hours, playing video games, right? Because some of these activities, a boxer, what's he, shadow boxing for 5 hours? Who does that? You need an activity that a man does for many, many hours so that it's not, you know, it's not strange when someone's watching up there. Like, oh, why is he's still making pasta? That's odd. So playing video games, smoking a bowl, just smoking a bowl. No, that's weird. Cracking a beer and drinking it. That's something a man would do for hours and hours. Or watching a sports event. You could have him sitting there and being like, just raising his, like, yeah! Raising his arms. You can't see on the podcast, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me getting into it. You can see me acting. I could be the shadow. I got a good body. I could do that. I will do it for, you know, a very little fee to the Man on the Curtain company. I got ideas, man. I got ideas for you guys. You know, I should be in charge of a startup company. No, I should not. I shouldn't be in charge of much of anything, to be honest with you. I can barely drink coffee and record this stuff. I can't save lives. Hey, but if you guys have an idea about what we could have a man doing on this, please call into Weird AF News and tell me. Or if you think this is a stupid idea, or if you think it's a good idea, I want to hear from you. Call into Weird AF News. The number 646-450-2012. You can email me funnyjones@gmail if you want to just rant that way. Or you can DM me at funnyjones. If you haven't been watching the YouTube videos, by the way, excuse me, you can subscribe by hitting the link in the podcast description. And vice versa, if you're watching it on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so because, God, where's this gas coming from? Because I got call-ins that you don't get to experience, and some of them are hilarious and crazy. So those aren't on the YouTube videos, so you have to get those from the podcast. So subscribe to the podcast by doing a search for Weird AF News on any of your podcast subscription apps.